What is summer solstice and how does it affect our daily life? Astronomy and traditional Chinese medicine experts show us how to get the most out of this day and month and ways to get your body in sync again. Only on Culture Express.
And you're watching Culture Express here on CGTN. Dating back to over 2,000 years ago, traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, has gained global recognition as more people are discovering its potential to relieve a wide range of ailments. Our own Julia Wahan talks to Xu Anlong, president of the Beijing University of Chinese Medicine, for his insights into TCM, how it can complement Western medicine, and the role it played in treating COVID-19.
Well, Professor Xu, welcome to our show. Before you became the president of Beijing University of Chinese Medicine, you are also an expert of immunology, right? How did you turn from immunology to TCM, traditional Chinese medicine education?
Well, actually, this is based on a few reasons. One, my personal experience. When I was a child, I experienced a disease, which is the infection of in my intestine by a bacteria. So although I used the antibiotics for treating the disease, but the disease caused me a very weak body, So then I used the Chinese medicine as one of the, complement therapy. So really helped me recover very well. So then when I was pursue my graduate study in the United States, where I studied the immune system, how the immune system affect the individual ability to fight against the disease, what we call the immunogenetics, which is an immunofactor, become like a genetic factor, determine the susceptibility and resistance to a disease, which is really have something to tell about why individual person have different ability to deal with disease. So this idea is really close with the Chinese medicine, the ideas too. I think myself, I like traditional Chinese culture. I read the Chinese traditional philosophy even when I was doing the immunological study. So I think myself has both side of knowledge. By serving as the president of this university, I really can, design a more, effective curriculum and educational program, which is that the younger generation to learn traditional Chinese medicine more effectively.
Tell us, what is TCM? What exactly is TCM?
I think TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, it is based on our Chinese people in the ancient time. They looking at above the sky and looking down to the earth to see the climate change, also the environmental changes and seasonal changes, to see how these changes affect human life. By understanding this, the principle of human life changes according to what we call have sky and earth, 天和地. So that changes affect the human body. So based on that, change the principle of changes, and we know the normal physiology will be behavior in what kind of way. And then in the diseased stage, we use the different approach to readjust, rebalance this diseased stage to the normal, to the healthy stage. So this practice we call is a traditional Chinese medicine.
Now, for a lot of our viewers who are not too familiar with TCM, they might know TCM through, say, acupuncture or cupping, right? Or these Chinese herbs. Explain to them how is it different from, in terms of seeing a doctor and the whole process of, getting a TCM treatment. How is it different from Western medicine?
Well, what you just named, a different approach to readjust the disease stage to be the health to the health stage. So it's a different way to do this. They could be used herb, you could use the acupuncture, So the treatment of this kind of treatment is different from the Western medicine. Right on the particular part is just the view on the disease. We treat the disease is not particularly on the organ or the symptom of organ. So for example, headache, we're not just exactly just acupuncture on head. Maybe it could be some other remote acupoint. We do acupuncture. So this remote acupoint has through the meridian channels, so it can regulate the pathological condition back to the normal physiological condition of your body, so that to solve the problem your headache. Yes. So this is different. But for the Western medicine, they just use the pill to stop the pain. Right on for example, if there's a pain, they stop narrow receptors. Yes, to block the pain to feel it. So this is a totally different approach.
And also speaking with the merits of TCM, I have to also mention the fact that TCM was widely popular during the pandemic for COVID-19, not only here in China, but also elsewhere in the world. But the question is, can TCM be mass-produced into standardized herbal remedies or preparations for everyone and for every disease?
Well, they could. Actually, even in the pandemic of COVID-19, in Wuhan, we mass-produced one of the recipe and distributed to people who has the virus positive, but has not a severe, light medical symptom. So they treated the people in thousands, the patient of that condition. So they really prevented this patient from getting more severe condition. So it does work. But even the modern TCM industry, pharmaceutical industry, we produce a lot of we call classical recipe come from the Han Dynasty, end of Han Dynasty, called Zhang Zhongjin, the great master of TCM, who wrote a book about Shanghan Zhabinren, which is about how you treat the disease with this kind of during the not only pandemic, but also people get cold, get all kind of and exposure to the unfriendly environment, the cause of the disease. So this book is very systematic. Of course, they can treat the other. It's comprehensive like a book. We call that's why we call Master Zhang Zhongjin. Even our neighboring country, Japan, they can use the Zhang Zhongjin's classical recipe to produce some of the TCM pharmaceutical products. For example, 六味地黄丸, 四君子汤, they use this to mass produce to sell in the Japanese the pharmacy store as well. They even can sell to the international market as long as they can GMP produce it and document that they clearly how to make sure this pharmaceutical product has been can be repeated, the efficacy, by document, so forth.
Thank you very much, Professor.
Coming up on Culture Express.